Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel. I'd like to welcome a familiar face. He's been here before, GOP candidate for U.S. Senate, Bob Flanders. Thank you for joining us today.
Kate, delighted to be here.
We've got a big prop with us here. We'll kick off with this because it is certainly taking up a lot of the space here. Talk with us about this check.
This is a check that we prepared for Sheldon Whitehouse to consider writing. This would donate all this PAC money that he's accumulated. He recently announced that he's going to forswear any further corporate PAC donations, and so we said, why not donate all the rest of the money that he's got in his coffers to a term limits nonprofit. At least give him food for thought.
So I'm going to put this aside here, and I do appreciate you bringing in the check into the studio. $3 million is the amount that he's received over his, is it in totality for the Senate or his entire political career?
Since 2008, he's received that from both his personal PAC account and his campaign account. He's only said that he's not going to take any more corporate PAC donations in his personal campaign account, but
what about his PAC?
What about it? That's what we're asking him. But in any event, that's the total that he's amassed since 2008. And if it's bad money now to take it, our point is give this money back. If you think it's not a good thing to have it, then donate it back or give it to some third party like a term limits group. So,
are you saying this is a campaign maneuver by the senator, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, this is just posturing on his part. It really is part and parcel of what he's been doing, just taking stances like this that really aren't meaningful, particularly when he's continuing to accept money in his personal PAC, and he's so far refused to give back the money that he's taken. If this is so bad, give it back.
So you're A, addressing the previous PAC money that he's received, and then B, the issue of his own personal PAC. That does it seem disingenuous if he won't address in response to your concerns?
Correct.
And let's talk a little bit about term limits. This is clearly something in focus that you think should be in place for the U.S. Congress.
I do. I think it's we have too many career politicians like Sheldon Whitehouse who have just basically made a career of holding public office. And I think it would be better for all of us if we had folks who are also citizen legislators, people who can come down there and work for a couple of terms or 3 at most, but then go back to private life, because I think you lose something when you don't have touch with the people and you're basically in Washington all of the time and not listening to what Rhode Islanders are concerned about.
I have to agree with you there, Bob, on that one. The proposal makes some sense. And what do you have to say to those opponents that say, well, we need institutional knowledge?
Well, you need institutional knowledge, but there's plenty of folks there who have institutional knowledge. We have a whole punditry down there. We have all kinds of lobbyists alike, and they work their magic with the elected officials. So I don't think I don't think there's really any danger there of losing institutional knowledge. And by the way, people who have institutional knowledge are not only folks who have served. They're the rest of us who follow politics, who understand what it's about and want to be able to contribute.
Do you get the sense, as we've seen how politics has moved forward, and we've talked with you oftentimes about your role in the GOP, but having been able to work across the aisles, that there might be more receptivity in the general public as we look at where the approval ratings are for Congress in general?
Absolutely. I think it's critical that you have people like myself who are not ideologues, who are willing to work with both sides and come up with compromise solutions for all these problems that are vexing America today. Immigration, infrastructure, health care, just to name a few that are hanging fire. We need folks who can work together, compromise, and come up with solutions that are going to serve Rhode Island and the country. And right now we've got too many folks like Senator Whitehouse who are hyper-partisan. The Lugar Center designated him as the 86th most partisan senator in the country. So I don't think that's serving Rhode Island.
So let's talk a little bit. You had the big event yesterday calling on him again to return all the PAC money, addressing the issue of his own personal PAC. Are you going to continue to push this issue moving forward?
Yes. I mean, if he thinks accepting corporate PAC money is so bad, I mean, what's hypocritical about this, Kate, is that he's amassed a fortune. He's basically topped over his campaign tank and saying, "Oh, now that I've got a full set of cash on hand, why should I take any more?" Well, give back this money. If it's so bad to take it, give it back and don't sit on it. And then turn to the rest of us and say, "How come you're not doing the same?"
Let's talk a little bit about fundraising on your end. How's it going?
It's going well, but my money is coming from Rhode Islanders. White House's money is 76% of it comes from out of state.
Wow.
Okay, so he's naturally hitting all the PACs and the lobbyists, and he rails against all this dark money. These are voters here in Rhode Island who are supporting my candidacy, and while I'm a challenger and don't have the advantages of incumbency, at least I'm gratified to know that I'm getting support from a broad range of Rhode Islanders.
Again, I wanted you in again to show the big check, this $3 million of the PAC money amassed by Senator Sheldon Whitehouse before he announced that he would no longer take PAC money moving forward. And again, questions abound regarding his own personal PAC as well. Bob Flanders, I appreciate your taking the time to come in to talk with us about the money. I'm sure we'll be talking about more things moving forward on the campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for the Friday noontime show, getting your weekend kicked off a little early. Started with Steve Narioff, the CEO of Alchemist, who is here for the Rhode Island Blockchain Summit, talking with him just about what is blockchain and what he spoke up with individuals at the summit yesterday and what the potential could be for Rhode Island moving forward. We had Vin Marzullo, a House District 26 candidate, expressing his concerns about the handling of a sexual assault recently reported at URI and covered by GoLocal here. He's going to be bringing his concerns to various authorities, including the Rhode Island Board of Governors for Higher Education. We also talked with Maureen Taylor, concerned residents close to student housing, about the number of unrelated students that can live together. There's currently an ordinance pending that would cap 3 per unit. There had been one looking at 4 that was pulled back, but she's urging folks who have concerns about how much is too much with students came into the studio here. And of course, Bob Flanders, GOP candidate for U.S. Senate, making the case after Senator Sheldon Whitehouse said that he will not take PAC money moving forward. He says, well, if it isn't good now, why was it ever good then? Saying that the senator should return all PAC donations that he's received in the Senate. He came with a check for $3 million, saying that this was the amount that they counted up, and also suggested giving it to a term limits organization. Bob talked a little bit about his support for putting term limits on elected officials as well. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to catching up with you over the weekend on Facebook and on GoLocalProv.com. And of course, back in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center on Monday. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel.